Welcome to another episode of Oxygen. Tonight, we're going to dive into Chicago's very own, the bully, John Wick, Tay Savage. Let's get it. Tay Savage, born Dwayne Timberlake, on January the 11th, 1991, in Chicago. Tay grew up in a rough neighborhood with the So Icy Black Disciples gang, which resided 40th Street and Cotton Grove Ave. Later on, they turned this into Welch World in May of 2010. This is when Tay's best friend, Anthony Welch, was gunned down. During my research, there's not a lot of information available about Tay's parents or his siblings. From listening to his music and some of his interviews, it's come to say Tay's pops wasn't around. He wasn't there to help him or his mom. Tay's mama raised him alone, and at times she struggled to provide for them, stating from lyrics in his own songs, "Born traumatized. My mama did her best, but she couldn't do it all alone. She had to work 2 jobs, barely having food on the wall." Come to find out, Tay has at least 1 brother and 1 sister that he mentions in one of his songs, FOS. Tay stating, "I got a brother locked up and a sister on the run, both caught with a gun and facing life." Tay's brother, better known as M Block, Die Y, that's his rap name, and he's a member of the M Block gang, which they're allies with Welch World. Tay and his brother have collaborated on songs in the past, Gang Party and FaceTime. Moving on to Tay's sister, she's known to be involved in the gang life, and she's been on the run from law enforcement, being wanted for murder and attempted murder. Tay, he was born into the street life. With siblings involved in street gangs, Tay had to adapt in order to stay alive in Chicago. From the early years, the bully, he was in and out of jail, Cook County Jail, being involved in several violent crimes and alleged gang murders. As the streets talk, Tay's name was brought up in the deaths of 2 rival gang members residing the Ave of 037 gang, Princess Seth Streeter and Chris Neff Daniels, who were believed to be the shooters in the death of Anthony Welch. This is where eyewitnesses say a masked gunman walked up on Seth and 2 of her friends while they were parked and got out of their vehicle, headed to the club. A masked man walked her down, shooting her, then standing over her body to make sure the job was done, while stating, "Karma is a bitch." They say this was a statement killing, while the masked gunman let the 2 other friends live. So they wanted to send a clear message to the rest of the gang. Tay Savage, the bully, was eventually arrested and charged with the hit and multiple counts of murder and robbery, facing a life sentence without parole. Tay taking it to trial with the lack of evidence and no eyewitnesses that could point out the shooter because the shooter was wearing a mask. Tay Savage was able to beat the body. But later, Tay was found guilty and him taking a plea deal on an unrelated robbery. Tay was charged and sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2014. While in prison, Tay spent time reading books and studying the law and working on his music. See, anyone who has done time behind bars, which I have, you can blame the world and be bitter and that becoming institutionalized, which many people do. You become a demon and start living for power and respect and start trying to make your name for yourself. And then you start going on crash missions and crashing out. We call them goofies. Or you can do what Tay did. Tay began to educate himself. Knowledge is power. He started to become an intelligent young black man with guidance and later converting to Islam. Tay has stated that serving the time in prison saved his life, and it also changed his perspective of life, making him become a man more focused on a career path. Tay has stated in recent interviews that prison is where he met a lot of people, including one of Chicago's very own, King Von. Tay has spoken about the relationship they've had on many platforms and how they wanted to work together, record music. One fact that Tay Savage and King Von were never free from prison at the same time. While one was in jail, the other might have been free, and vice versa. Through the whole time, King Von and Tay Savage were never in the free world at the same time. Who's to say what kind of music we would have today if they were ever able to link up outside of jail? Rest in peace, Von. Tay Savage, the Chicago bully, John Wick. He was released from prison in March of 2022. From Tay putting in work on the streets and doing his time like a man. He never did anything foul. He never did any lame shit. Tay's name rang loud in Chicago and throughout the internet as a man who stands on morals in business. From this alone will be a target on his back with many of the opposition. From people wanting revenge, from opposing gangs wanting to take a big name out and up in the score, to many just looking for clout. John Wick has many ops. It's been known that FYB J Main has named Tay Savage John Wick from an incident that happened in a nightclub. While the two sets were in the club, they wound up running into each other and things went left. And allegedly, Tay upped a pole on FYB J Main. John Wick with both hands, firing like he was a trained assassin, allegedly. That's where this altercation wind up leading 051 Kiddo, standing to be one of Tay Savage's biggest ops right now. 051 Young Money. 051 Kiddo, who is aligned with the Young Money gang, and 051 Melly. That was his right-hand man, which 051 Melly It's an episode of itself that will be on its way soon. Back to Tay Savage and his ops. At that nightclub, that issue led to diss songs between Kiddo and Tay that have gone viral, with both parties doing interviews with DJU TV, which DJU was King Von's DJ. I'd like to give a big shout out to DJU TV for sure. Y'all go check out DJU TV. I would like to mention FYB J and Tay Savage. They've been seen together on multiple platforms, pushing peace. At one time, both parties were big ops. Since Tay's been home, he's been trying to do things right. He's trying to make that money. And FYB J has got a career of his own as well, which he has turned into the funny man, the comedian. But you can see on multiple platforms they have both been trying to push the peace, which Oxygen will do an episode on FYB J pushing peace and the whoops. Let's get back to it. Hey, hit the like, comment, hit the subscribe. If you like what we're pushing, leave us a comment. Help us grow the channel. Let us know who we need to cover next, and we'll get it. Like, subscribe. Oxygen, Hip Hop News. Also, with 1090 Jake covering stories of the Chirac drill scene, I'd like to give a shout out to 1090 Jake. Check out his channel, EOS. I salute. Needless to say, Tay Savage is here to stay, with his music career taking off with his first mixtape titled Welch World, dropping in January 2023. Tay Savage has collaborated with multiple Chicago rappers such as Lil Reese, M Block, Guy Y, EBK, Easky, Kobo 75, Gucci Doll, and many more, with hit songs like Never Leave My Blick, Gang Party, FaceTime, FOS, and Born Traumatized. Tay is currently working on his debut album, which will be released later this year. With Tay's career just now taking off due to him being locked up for 8 years, Tay's come a long way, from the streets to prison to growing and becoming a mature black man focused on his career, providing for his wife, and taking care of his kids. I salute Tay. We all have a past. It is what it is, but we must grow and become men, which Tay has done, taking care of business and his responsibilities of a man. I salute Tay Savage. Thank y'all. This was another episode of Oxygen. If you like the content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave me your comments on who I need to cover next. And again, we've got many more episodes in the work. This was another episode of Oxygen. Let's get it.